Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'll work with you step by step through each of the ABRSM Theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. You can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. There's a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials on that website, and you can also access information about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to best make use of the time when you're actually in the exam room on exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that'd be great, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And now we're going to press on and make a start of the 2017 practice papers for grade 3. We're going to be looking at paper A. So if you turn with me to page 3. Now I always suggest that you have a go at this yourself first of all. It doesn't matter if you make mistakes. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. You'll learn more thoroughly that way than just by copying with me. Always write in pencil, a nice sharp pencil. I use a mechanical pencil so it stays sharp. You will also need an eraser and a ruler, and then we're ready to go. So I'm hoping you've had a go of this on your own first of all, and so now I'll just work through these first questions with you. So question 1 asks us to add the missing bar lines to each of these 3 melodies. So there are 3 separate time signatures, so just be careful and don't presume it continues on. So here we're counting in 3 half notes or 3 minim beats per bar. So we've got to keep on adding up to that. So we've got a dotted crotchet, a dotted quarter note with a quaver. They will give us 1 minim. Then we have 4 quavers, or 4 eighth notes. They will give us another minim. And then here we got a dotted crotchet, a dotted quarter note and 2 semis, which works out at the same as that. So there we have our 3rd minim, our 3rd half note. So there's the bar line. By all means, just sketch out. You can always rub it out afterwards if you want to. So that's a 3/4 of a minim, and there's a 1/4 of a minim that adds up. A crotchet and a crotchet gives us another minim, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 quavers or 4 eighth notes. That gives us another minim, so we can put a bar line there. 1, 2, 3, 4, that gives us 1 minim. 1, 2, 3, 4, that gives us another minim. There's our dotted crotchet, dotted quarter note and 2 semis, 2 sixteenths, so there's our other minim, which just leaves this one odd incomplete bar, but because it says etc there, we know it's not a complete bar, so that just continues. We'll leave it from there. So now we're counting in this next one 4 crotchet beats, 4 quarter notes per bar, so we just need to keep adding up to that, so we need 4 of those. So 2 quavers, 2 eighth notes gives us 1. Don't forget rests count as well, so there's a quaver and a quaver again, 8th, 8th. There's another, and there's a beat, a crotchet beat rest, a quarter note rest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, there's our first bar line. Another clue is, don't forget that we are grouped in crotchet beats or minim beats, so that tells us as well, there's 1 beat. We've got 3/4 of a beat and a quarter. There's another beat. And then there and there, or all of that gives us a minim. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just a quick glance way of doing it. We can double check the maths now if you like. 3/4 and a quarter. And then here, that gives us a quaver. That gives us a quaver if you get your 16th and 32nd notes organised, and then we know that that's crotchet crotchet there. So let's carry on. So there's 1, there's 1, there's 1, there's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 crotchets, 4 quarter notes, and then I think this is the next incomplete bar. Yeah, that's not a complete bar, so we're done when we get to there. Moving on to the last one in this question. So now we're counting 6/8 notes, or 6 quaver beats per bar, which is compound time. We're looking for 2 groups of 3 quavers, so we're looking for that as well. That's another clue. So 1, 2, 3, 4 1/2, 5, 6. There's our counting in our quavers, or 1/8 notes. Or you can see there's one group of 3, there's another group of 3. We're looking for 2 groups of 3. One group of 3 quaver beats, 1/8 notes, 1, 2, 3, another group of 3. So there's our next bar line. Or alternatively, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, there's our quaver beats, our 1/8 notes, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So there's 1 1/2, so that will give us 2, 3, there's one group of 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go, and then there's our incomplete bar. So that's that question completed. Let's move on to question 2. So we're asked to rewrite the following melody with the notes correctly grouped. We've got to beam these notes. So it's really important that we reflect this crotchet or quarter note beat. We've got to show each new beat. And so we would have to beam to show where each new beat falls. So before we start drawing anything out note-wise, let's just look at what we'll be doing. So there's a 1/2 and 2/4. That gives us one crotchet beat, or 1/4 note. So we will be beaming those together. Then 1/2 and 2/4 gives us our next crotchet beat, our next quarter note. Now here, that would give us one beat and that would give us another beat. However, there is a rule that tells us we can actually group all of those together. That's one of the exceptions to rule. So we can actually take that stage further and group those together. So here we have a 3/4 of a crochet beat and there's a quarter. So there's together. 4/4 make one whole beat. Ooh, missed. So all of those will be together. Now here we're actually off the beat. So those 2/4 make a half a beat, but we can't group them to that. That's on its own, that's on its own. So we'll have to just leave those as they are. It's a syncopated or an off beat. So we can't complete the beat because the music doesn't allow us to do that. So all we can do is join those two together and that's it. We can't really do anything else without changing the time values. So here we got a 1/2 and 2/4, so there's one beat, a 1/2, and then those will finish the beat there, and that's as it is. So that's the thinking done. Now we just need to draw it out. So it's up to you if you go in groups or if you do all the heads first. I prefer to do all the note heads first, but it doesn't matter as long as you get the job done. We may have to think a little bit about changing the direction of some stems if the beaming dictates that. So I'll dot that. I'm keeping everything reasonably aligned just so I don't lose track of where I am, and then I know I'm not going to run out of space as well, and I won't lose track of which note I'm on. Nearly there. I'm going to have to think about what to do with these stems here. There we go. Okay, so these are going to be beamed together. So if I do the outside ones first, beam those, and then the middle one can fit. Same principle here. Now that's above the middle line, that's above the middle line, that's below, but it's only below by 1 and it's outvoted by these 2, so that will have to also have the stem going down. There we go. So that's above the middle line, that's above the middle line, that's the middle line, so they can go all downwards. The direction is generally going up, so I shall do that with the beam. So these are the same note. Now these are all above the middle line. This one is below, but it's outvoted and it's only one below, so that's okay. I want 2 lines to make those semis. There we go. So these two will be on their own. We can't change that, otherwise we'll change the composition. Now then, here, this is the middle line. This is 1, 3, 5 above the middle line, and this is only 3 below. So kind of this one needs it most, even though there's 2 of those. So it's going to have to be down for the sake of this note. In fact, I think what I'll do, I should have thought of this, because those 2 notes are the same, because it's such a big stem, I'm just going to keep that straight, or mostly straight, just to keep it neat. There we go. These can come down. So that's, make sure the dot shows. I want another line there and then another line there. Crochet, crochet, there we go. Okay then. So question B asks us, how many demi-semiquavers or 30-second notes is the first note of bar 3, this one, worth? So then let's just diagram this out. We'll miss the dot for the moment. So we know that a quaver, or an 8th note, divides into 2 semis, which divides into 4 demi-semis or 30-second notes, and then we've got the dot, which is half again, so 1, 2, 3, 4 plus half as much again gives us 2, so altogether we've got 6. I'm sure there's a more mathematical way of doing that, but I just find it easier to diagram that out so I don't make any mistakes. So then, if you will turn with me, let's turn over the page. And we'll have a look at question 3. So question 3 asks us to name the key of each of the following scales. We need to say whether it's minor, or of course whether it's major, and which form of the minor, whether it's harmonic or melodic. So first of all, we're in the treble clef and we're starting on an E. So we know that it's E something, whether it's E major or E minor remains to be seen. Now then, E major would have 4 sharps, whereas here we've only got 3. There's no G sharp. And so that tells us we must be in a minor key because the major key signature isn't complete. Now then, E minor is related to G major, and so that would be the key signature. That explains the F sharp, and so we've still got this 6th and 7th to explain. And then the melodic minor form, if you remember, the 6th and the 7th are raised on the ascending steps. And so we know that's E minor melodic form. Or you could say E melodic minor, either way. Let's have a look at this next one. So here we're in the bass clef and we're beginning on and ending on an F. Good boys do football. So we know it's F something. Now it can't be F major because F major only has B flats. And we've got obviously more flats going on here. So we know it's F minor. We just need to now describe which form it is. Now F minor is related to A flat major, which would have a key signature of B flats, oops, E flats, which isn't there. Oh, I'm in the wrong clef. 1 second, let me do that again. B flats is here, E flats, A flats and D flats. Now there's no E flat, so there we need to explain why there's no E flat. It's been raised, it's the 7th degree of the scale, and the harmonic minor raises the 7th degree, and so step by step we've worked it out. Next one, so we're beginning and ending on D, so it's D something. D major has a key signature of F sharps and C sharps, which is there, so it's as simple as that. D major. And then this last one, we're in the treble clef, it begins and ends on A flat, so it's A flat something. A flat major would have a key signature of B flats, E flats, A flats and D flats. It's all present, so it's as simple as that. A flat major. There we go. We'll look at the next questions in the next video. I do hope that this is helpful to you. I hope that it's of benefit. I hope that you're enjoying it too. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. Please do visit sharonbill.com and make sure that you make use of all of the resources available to you there. Please do give me a like and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more in store. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.